Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another Sims info/thoughts video. So, yep, there it is. The Parenthood game pack has finally been announced. And now that I've had a few hours to settle down from all of the initial hype, my thoughts on this game pack have changed a bit. Overall, I still feel more positive about it than any game pack before it, but I do have some skeptical thoughts for sure. But before I get into those, I do want to talk about some other information that's come out aside from the trailer, which I already reacted to, because there is the blog post as well as some SimGuru tweets. So first, let's talk about the blog post, which does give more context as to what's actually going on in the trailer. So it adds some significant features that will change the daily life, and your Sims offspring will be more ill-behaved than ever, with rebellious teenagers and toddlers who chomp down on their siblings. So here's a question that immediately comes up for me with that last sentence. By chomp down on their siblings, do they mean that figuratively, or that they can literally bite each other? I don't know. But yes, there is a parenting skill which the teaser hinted at to help make things right. And then, I think, is the most interesting part of the blog, where it says that parenting can have long-term consequences, which introduces the character values trait system, where if your Sims take the time to teach their children good manners, like setting the table, and trying not to burp, swear, or fart, they can grow up with new traits that will positively affect their lives forever. Or the other way around, if things end up a bit more negative. Now, what I find really interesting about this character values traits thing is that this sounds like something I would expect to see in an expansion pack, because this looks like it is really going to change the core game a lot. That is actually what I was hoping for with this game pack, that it would really shake up the core gameplay, but I didn't expect it to do it in this way. Wow, like it really looks like it'll change things on a foundational level. Also, I love that teenagers swearing is really a thing. I just figured when I was reacting to the trailer that was just like a staged thing, but no, that can really happen. It does remind me a bit of The Sims Bustin' Out, where there was like this sign language interaction, but it wasn't really like what you think it is. It was more of like a mocking interaction, and then there was Sims swearing and it was bleeped out. So I don't know if there's any bleeping in this game, but yeah, I guess at least there may be speech bubbles like that with all of the swearing symbols you use to cover up actual swear words. Then there's one other part of the blog that I want to talk about, where it mentions that not everything is all about serious life-changing decisions, and that children can bring home new school projects to work on after class with parents and siblings. And they create permanent hilarious objects like what you saw in the trailer with the erupting volcanoes and the backyard rockets, and future medical professionals can practice their stethoscoping skills on teddy bears. This sounds pretty interesting too. I think this is basically a replacement for the after-school activities from Sims 3 Generations. But I prefer this for sure, because with the after-school activities in The Sims 3, for the most part, it was just going to the rabbit hole. You wouldn't actually see your Sims doing that stuff. But here, you actually can. And now let's move on to the SimGuru tweets. Let's actually start off with one continuing off of the whole projects topic. So they can be completed and suck, be okay, or be awesome based on a few different factors. They can also be broken. So that's really interesting. They're more deep than I expected them to be. Even with your parents helping you on projects, that doesn't guarantee that it's always going to end well. Like, think of the Floretta costume from The Simpsons. Yeah. And in case you're wondering about the shirt wrapped around the jeans like the teen is wearing here in the foreground, SimGuru Ninja did clarify that as well, saying that the jeans with the shirt wrapped at the waist is one Create a Sim asset, and you can combine it with any top, so it's not a full outfit, it is just a bottom. So I think that's pretty much as good as it's going to get. Like I mentioned in my reaction video, there is a piece of custom content I've had for a long time now where it is like a t-shirt wrapped around the waist, but it's an accessory so you can easily pair it with different outfits or tops and bottoms. but I'm pretty sure the reason that they didn't take that same route with this official asset in Parenthood is because, well, with the custom content, there's a very good chance of it clipping with various different amounts of pants and stuff. Maybe in The Sims 5 they'll have some better anti-clipping technology, if you want to call it that, but with The Sims 4 I don't think they can really go back and do that. In regards to punishment, there will be more specific details coming later, but we can give kids timeouts, ground them from activities, and set curfews. It definitely would be nice to set specific times for curfew because, yeah, curfew was in The Sims 3, but I actually found it way more often than not very annoying because there was, like, for example, a family I had lived near the beach, but the beach was not technically part of their lot. So sometimes I'd have my teenager go fishing at sunrise, but they'd have to go off the lot, and then because they were off the lot while they were fishing, then the cops would catch them, say like, "Oh, you broke your curfew," and then bring them back home, and then they get a lecture from the parents and be grounded. It was just like, ugh. That was kind of messy, so I could at least, if I can set a very custom time for curfews, then that wouldn't be an issue with those kinds of families. And with breaking curfews and grounding, there will be consequences, so that's good. It's not like, oh, your teenagers have to follow the rules. Nope, you have more freedom than that. You can definitely break them if you'd like. With the parenting skill, it is a full 10-level skill, so don't worry about it being only 5 levels like dancing from Get Together. So this parenting skill sounds like it'll potentially have a whole lot of depth to it. I'm really looking forward to what it could bring, especially since I can't really relate. I'm not a parent myself. So I think I'll just have to wait and see what is going to be in this, and hopefully be pleasantly surprised. One interesting thing that was pointed out about the trailer is that with the dinner scene there are placemats and forks set out. And SimGuru Ninja confirmed that yes, Sims can now set the table. I'm pretty intrigued by this. I have a feeling with this feature, it might be how my experience was with laundry in The Sims 3, where I never asked for laundry in the game and quite frankly didn't want it because, well, laundry is, in my opinion anyways, pretty boring to do and it's not something I would expect to enjoy in a Sims game. But then when they brought it in with ambitions, I actually liked it a lot. So I think setting the table might have a similar reaction for me where it's like, oh, would this be fun to do in a video game? But yeah, I think it might. I'm guessing it does tie into the parenting skill, so it probably will have some practical use. And one other thing that I never asked for but might end up enjoying a lot is that you can actually make school lunches for your kids now. But another interesting part with this tweet here is that, well, if it's made for them anyways, so you don't have to make lunches for them, but if you want to, you can. And my guess is that this also ties into the parenting skill. Another thing that I think will tie into the parenting skill, but is something that I know for sure that I'm gonna like, is that parents can now tuck their children into bed. So they can already tuck toddlers into bed, but it is really nice that now we can do that with children. And now here's an interesting tweet about the acne. So they're categorized under skin details. So my first reaction was like, oh yes, this is great. I was hoping they'd be skin details and not in costume makeup or something like that. But then I realized, oh, wait, so then they're not a game mechanic, I guess. I mean, like, maybe there's the chance that it could be both, a thing you can choose and create a sim if you want to have it on the sim, at least semi-permanently, and could also happen randomly, but I'm thinking it is just a create a sim thing, and that's it, which, if that's the case, it's a bit of a bummer. And if you've been wondering if preteens are coming in this game pack, SimGuru Drake has confirmed that no, that's not happening. I've seen a fair amount of disappointment over this, but I can't say I'm disappointed myself, because, well, yeah, for a while I did want preteens, but then once I actually started thinking, well, what unique gameplay would they bring to the table, and how distinct would they look, because we already have the issue of teenagers looking too similar to young adults, So I'd rather not have the risk of teenagers looking similar to two age groups in the game, or children looking similar to preteens. And, well, I don't know how much they could really bring to the table in terms of gameplay either. Maybe some puberty awkwardness, but I don't know. To be honest, I'm not sure if it's worth it. Feel free to let me know in the comment section below what you think preteens should be, because, well, I don't really have that many ideas for once. And one more tweet I wanted to mention from SimGuru Drake is that there will be a live stream next Friday on this game pack, so that's probably when we're going to learn more about this game pack if we don't already get another blog post next Tuesday. Alright, so now I want to talk a little bit more about my more in-depth thoughts now, I guess you could say, because now I'm over the initial, so my god, this game pack looks so good! I mean, it still does look really great, but I do have some concerns because, well, let's actually start with the title. I like the title, Parenthood. It's definitely a little bit more creative than just calling it Families or something like that, but also calling it Parenthood does imply that this is going to be a very narrowly focused game pack. It's going to focus on parenting. It's not going to focus as much as maybe what a lot of us would have wanted, where it would be basically like a straight up remake of The Sims 3 Generations. It turns out my initial prediction was correct about this being a little bit like Generations, but having more of an educational focus. But there is also kind of like the parenting thing as well. But I was also hoping that there would be some activities outside of the school projects, because while there could be the chance of them still being there, because they can't reveal like everything in the announcement trailer, I'm still a bit concerned because there's still some things like playground equipment, board games, and bunk beds that I think would be really good inclusions, but I don't think will be in there. And especially with bunk beds, I feel like that would be a really obvious inclusion, because this game pack is going to make me want to have more kids in my game. And, well, bunk beds would be great to help accommodate those kids, for sure. They already missed their chance once by not having bunk beds in kids' room stuff. Though I'm really glad that we got, like, the Void Critter Battle Station and the Puppet Theater, because they're both new gameplay objects that haven't been done in The Sims before that, in my opinion, both ended up being really fun. But if they don't end up being in this game pack, which had more room for new gameplay objects, I think that's a bigger disappointment. And, well, that makes me think, well, where would they put bunk beds then if not this game pack? Maybe they could fit them into a university expansion pack. Maybe some sort of World Adventures remake if they put in hostels, if they even do a World Adventures remake, which I'm definitely not counting on. So yeah, there's definitely that to think about. If they're not in this game pack, what opportunity is there to put them in? I'm not really sure. With the board games and playground equipment, I think we could still get those pretty easily at some point, but that'll be at the cost of probably putting them in different packs, which, yeah, I know all of you love that. No, that was definitely sarcasm. But, yeah, I don't want a playground stuff pack to be necessary, nor a board games one. I guess if they did a game pack that's like The Sims 2 Free Time that focuses more on pursuing hobbies, then both of those things, yeah, I guess could fit into that. That actually would be a better scenario, I think, than having, like, two stuff packs, one for playground equipment and one for board games. Because I definitely could imagine them taking that route, considering how bowling got its own stuff pack. Overall, I am still really excited for Parenthood, but yeah, I really felt the need to bring up those concerns, because I think they could be pretty legitimate. And that wraps up another Sims info/thoughts video, so let me know in the comment section below how excited you are for Parenthood and what you're looking forward to most, or any other concerns that you may have that I might have not even mentioned. But I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching.